Are you looking to buy your first home, refinance, or you need general guidance from someone you can trust? HomeLoansWithAlex.com is your one-stop shop. Since 2008, Alex Nunemaker from Fitzgerald Financial Group has been answering questions and helping people. Yes, even us on the Could Be Better podcast with financing our homes. He's licensed from Pennsylvania all the way down to Florida, and even randomly in Texas, Alabama, and Colorado. HomeLoansWithAlex.com is your one-stop shop for home finance. Alex Nunemaker of Fitzgerald Financial Group is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 319721. Go ahead.
Welcome to the Could Be Better podcast.
Hi.
Hi. How are you, Colin?
Awful. How are you?
Yeah, about the same. So we've had our second practice with the new outfit here in
I didn't think you were going to go there.
And it was incredible. I mean, honestly, like I've never seen you play drums this well. And so for folks that don't know, Colin and I are in a tribute set to the band Good Charlotte for the emo night that's at Old Mother on July 30th. So it's on Saturday.
Wait a second.
Am I going too fast?
What did you think of the first practice?
Oh, dude, the first practice was mind-blowingly not what
bad.
I thought it was gonna
How
be.
many things did you think were my fault?
Two?
Let's
Yeah.
hear them. Let's work this out in front of
you
the
and me.
public.
So the one thing I realized there was a double build thing at the end of Story of My Old Man that we didn't do.
That's
totally
true.
your fault.
That's true.
And then,
Which, by the way, I thought I said this. I might not have, but I'm gonna say it now on record.
Mhm.
When you put that on the set list, I had never listened to that song in my life. That was the first time I had heard it.
It's a great song.
Yeah. Go
and
ahead.
then the second thing was I don't remember. Maybe it was just one. I think one was only
the tempo for Dance Floor Anthem.
Oh yeah.
Chris number 2.
Yeah, Chris number 2
said the tempo's fucking slow, motherfucker.
Yeah, he was doing very Whiplash with you, and I thought it was okay. Same question for you. How much of it was my fault?
All of it.
Yeah, there's two things that
because you gathered all of these people together.
Yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we had that other singer there. It was great.
Hey, that's a shot at your boy.
Our boy.
You know what? You know what's odd about it? Here, let's work this out.
That's what I'm here for.
Everybody.
That's fine. Was this called Inside Baseball?
Yes, sure it is. I'm sure there's so many people who want to know the inside
out of this cover band that you and I have started for one show. Yeah, tell me
which
more.
you don't even want to do. You really don't.
It was my idea.
It was, but you don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
I don't want to be here anymore. Like Joe Gillette used to say.
Rather be with all my friends, you know.
So you put this group of people together.
Right.
With expectations, correct?
Sure. I mean, come on. It's me. I always have expectations, and they're always unrealistic.
And so then what? Like that's what I want to know. Then what?
So it wasn't until the second practice when everybody came super prepared. And it wasn't until that moment where I realized, wow, this is really a great idea.
It was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
You did no. My biggest question to you is, how do you feel? You said you have given up on music forever.
I think that is exactly what I said. Yeah.
And
trademark.
Does anything about this project? This is 100% serious.
Mm-hmm.
Does anything about this whole situation, this progress, this whatever this is, make you want to play music again?
No.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like, I think this kind of brings up a little part of the cool connection between our guest. We have the experience of TeeVee, the band TeeVee from Frederick, the heart of Frederick, or on the podcast, and one of my really, really good friends, Spencer, is in that band, and so he also walked away from music for a long time and just kind of came back into it. And I don't know about you, but I felt that love in this room tonight, and I think I know it probably didn't come right away, but I think that love can exist. It's just not that I've not found it, but I just don't know if I see it.
Well, what does that mean, though? Do you not feel it in the context of only 5 strangers coming together? Well, 4 strangers coming together to play a Good Charlotte songs. Is that context, or is it the context of, well, it feels good to be electric in a room with people playing music?
No, I mean, I think what my relationship with music is pretty complicated, and it's like,
well, you didn't answer my question though,
because it's not applicable. I think it's like for me, it's like I play Sundays at my church, right?
Right.
So that's being in a full band with electric
Sure.
stuff and things and whatever.
Yes.
Playing the Good Charlotte cover stuff, like it was fine, but it's like, hey, we got a job to do. And that's kind of my brain of like, hey, like, yeah, this is fine. You know, I got a bunch of lyrics to remember.
What makes you feel good about music again, playing music again?
Well, everybody knows their shit. So that first practice was a little tough, right? You know, so it's like, not you and me, but you know, it was.
No, what do you mean?
It's just like when everybody kind of comes in prepared and you're doing a thing that's cool, but like cover band stuff, like, and maybe a hot take and maybe whatever, but it's like cover band stuff is just kind of sad. And so I think like for me,
oh my God,
what
a statement.
For me, it's just like, hey, it's cool if you want to get together and you want to play some covers with your bros and do some stuff, which is kind of what we're doing now. But like I still have a hard time being like, oh, if this is a dedicated there are there's one cover band I can think of in the area, and you know who I'm talking about. And that band always made me be like,
but they've gone through lineup changes all of the time,
and they're done now.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, and also like, thank God. But like,
well, because she's like, I want to go do music.
Well, but it's like she also wants to go do real music, right?
That's
so,
but
you know what I mean? Like even the people that are
thing,
I know, but even the people that are in those cover bands that are like, hey, we are just a cover band that play lit covers for champions, right? Like when you have those type of things, it's like, to me, yes, you're playing music, but for me, it's like there's the creative aspect of it.
I see all of what you're saying.
Sure.
You're saying. Thank you for everybody listening to us work through our shit. But let me just counter with this.
Sure.
And say, it was really great. It was a thrill to be in a room with you with sweaty people playing music again, which I haven't done in a long time with you, and it felt really good just on that level. To do that, It was very frustrating, and it did not turn out well. I hope everybody's listening. Of course, they're not. But it felt really good. Did you get that feeling, or was there too much in the way?
I had a similar feeling. I wouldn't say it's the exact thing. It's like I feel enough of where like I had fun playing with you, but then I'm also like I'm hearing other parts.
We made a lot of faces to each other.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And at one point there was somebody who caught on to us making faces and
did.
said, "Hold on a second."
Yeah, and he knew, but then he shaped up.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like,
true though. That's really true. That's actually true.
Yeah. So, but it's like I think that's just part of the struggle. It's like not kind of detracting from ourselves and talking about our guests, but I think that's part of the beauty of like when Spencer and Dylan from TeeVee came on, they found that in themselves, and there was like a big level of trust and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I think for us, it's like, for me, it's like, hey, we got contractors, right? Like, it's like we have friends. They've friends of the podcast, friends of the show, friends of Frederick. Good.
I think it's a thrill. I think it's a thrill to play with them.
Sure,
I do.
I like it, and I think it wasn't until that second practice though that's when things kind of shifted. So I don't know. Okay. It's interesting. So I don't know. I just have. I don't know. I think there's a fear of disappointment that I'm trying to avoid.
Well, so there is that, but I will, and we could talk about this off air.
Yeah, thanks for being my therapist today.
Fucking month or so.
Yeah.
Or 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
There is that disappointment factor, because I will tell anybody who's out there listening right now, this is a bad band. As it stands,
bad as in like bad to the bone, right?
No, as in when we try to play these songs, we are not playing them well. This is not good.
Even after the second practice?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's the case. So I look at that and I say, well, I hope we cannot be bad. That's all. I just hope we can be not, I almost said bad, but I hope we can be not bad, and I hope it ends up okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, after the second practice though, it's like it's a totally game changer, because for me it's like
the second practice is going to have to happen for 8 to 10 hours.
No, the second practice has happened, and it wasn't that bad. It was everybody knew their shit. We came in and it was great. I think at the end of the day though, it's like my last show in my last band was a really cool show. And so it's like, if this third practice is bad, we might not play the show.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, no.
I'd go out there and embarrass myself. I have no problem with that.
Oh, I would
that.
rather burn the hair off my testicles. like literally, I'd rather take this delicious Old Mother beer that I'm drinking right now, pour it on my nutsack, and then take a lighter and just light my hair on fire and do that for 30 minutes than rather be embarrassing myself because it's like I don't need that moment, right? Like the last great show, the last band I was in played was the Frederick Food Truck Festival. Shout out to Zoe and Alex and all the other amazing people that put that on. It's like I don't need to have another memory that sucks. Like no thanks. Hard pass.
Nobody needs a memory that sucks.
Correct. And you know what helps though when you do have memories that suck?
Being in a two-piece. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, drinking beer and drinking beer from our wonderful sponsors at Old Mother. We love them so much, and they had a new beer release recently, which is the Killer Combo number 3, it's
a Big Mac.
It's a Big Mac, and it is a hazy IPA. It is as much as my IQ, and it is a 6% alcohol beer. And so what I have been told by our corporate overlords at Old Mother is they have said that it is a newest experiment involving 2 hop varieties, Strata and El Dorado. Do you remember the last time you went to El Dorado?
I do.
And we can't talk about it any more than that. And this is the first time that Old Mother has used these hops exclusively together, and it is a killer combo. Strata and El Dorado give off some serious deep Starburst and strawberry bubblegum vibes, and I've been drinking it all night, and I didn't taste either of those, but now I do. It's just crazy what your brain does to you. And so at this point, you can make sure that you can hit that magic spot with Old Mother when you cut into a killer combo number 3. Available now in draft and in a 4-pack.
If anybody is going to hire somebody to read ads, it would be...
Anybody but us.
Well, no, Chris Perry should read your ad. So come to us, Frederick Chiropractor.
Hey, I'll talk about, do you have back pains? Have you ever felt like you needed to get a relief? Well, go to frederickchiropractor.org where you can get all of your relief that you need.
Hey, I do think, now you're going to tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm probably going to be wrong, but the episode, is this the final episode before Emo Night?
This comes out on the 27th.
I thought we might have had one more.
No,
we don't? Okay.
Unless there's some special announcement guest thing that comes on through the
Well,
internet.
that's possible.
It can always happen.
I just want to say that it has been a pleasure playing with these guys for 1 hour on one night.
2 nights. It's been great, man.
I hope you come out. It's not just Good Charlotte. It's Taking Back Sunday. It's Paramore. It's Weezer. It's
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
It's.
I'm not okay. Are you?
Definitely not okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a young boy, my father, he took me into the city. It was crazy. Yeah, but also I need to make sure that people know you don't care about Good Charlotte. You would much rather have done a Fall Out Boy cover set, and I said no.
That's what me and Chris, not this Chris.
Other Chris. They're like, yeah, we should do a Good Charlotte thing. I was like, nah, I don't want to learn another guitar part. So anyway, you were here for 5-chord power rock. It's going to be a great set. It's going to be a fun time. There's a lot of bands. There's a lot of people. And again, like, I like to advertise this as Frederick's first emo night because I feel like this is going to be the best one. So shout out to everyone else that has done it, and let's see if it'll be good.
Listen up, because there ain't nothing funny. I want a hot girl and a little bit of money.
We owe the Madden Brothers like $10 million now. All right. Emo night, July 30th at Old Mother, 6:30 p.m. It's going to be a good time. This is the last you're ever going to hear of us talking about emo night. So if you're sick and tired of it, yeah, we are too. So so come to Old Mother. And the last thing is I have one more thing to read.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Jesus!
We have so many things, dude, going on. August is insane. It's insane. We have a show. It's a sweet show. There's 2 bands on tour, and it is it's our local friends, and I mean, let's just be honest, our heroes in the band Hostile Array, and they are playing on August 12th. With it's Hostile Array, Resistor, this band called Senseless. They're on tour with, and Resistor. They played at when we booked shows at New Spire Arts.
That was so far ago.
Yeah, it's Fargo.
Okay.
And so Resistor just threw down. They're coming back to the area. It's gonna be really cool. And then there's a 2-piece drummer and vocal band called Rubicon Sky.
I thought they were called Double Motorcycle.
No. They broke up, dude. I don't know if you know.
Last song.
And then Delenda. It's going to be cool. So again,
Delenda.
Yeah,
those guys are still playing, really?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, the metalcore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a good story about them.
Do you really?
I do. The second iteration of the thing, we did outside of 200 East. It was on the line. It was when Roswell Kid headlined and nobody showed up, and it was really bad. Like the whole thing was really bad. But
who booked that shit?
God damn. The first band who I put on the main stage, because we had the thing, we had 16 stages that day. 16. And then everyone was like, why aren't you here? What am I supposed to do? I don't know.
You're running around like crazy.
But they opened the main stage, and because I knew one of those guys, and he was like, can you please just let us do this? Yeah, that's good. They come out. You know what happened?
Power broke?
No. Right on the creek. You know where 200 East is.
Yeah.
Somebody decided at that moment, in that time, they were getting married. So they had this whole party of people.
And it's like, that's insane. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. They had this whole party of people that were there, like they were all dressed in bride dresses and like tuxedos and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going to get married. And the priest is coming. And they were supposed to get married at 1 p.m. And we started at 12:50. And they got so mad, they called the cops. The cops came, and I had to deal with that. That's my story.
What'd you do? How many did you pay off?
I told them,
how much did you spend? How much did you spend?
I said, I'm so sorry. This will be the loudest band of the day, which it was, by the way. It was definitely the loudest band of the day. But they said, okay, just don't do it again.
And you said, okay, cool. And you haven't done a thing since.
I haven't done a thing. Well, I did one more thing after that. But anyway,
that's crazy.
Delenda ruined somebody's wedding.
And they're here to not ruin your Friday night. So come on, check them out on August 12th. It's going to be a good time. It's kind of fun because they used to be in a band called Bloodbath from Boston. So they're a local band that have been doing things for a long time, and they're friends with Hostel, right? It's going to be cool. It's going to be a good time. Bunch of different type of music. So come on out. It's going to be great. 6:30, free. You know the drill. Guys, this is what you all get with us being sleep deprived, tired, and have had several drinks. So this is our several.
Too many.
Yeah. So this is our interview with the romantic, the lovely, and the enchanting TeeVee. Go ahead, Colin.
Go ahead, Chris.
This is great. We're here with the legendary TeeVee. Hello, Spencer. Hello, Dylan.
Hey,
legendary.
I need you to move your microphone so I can hear you.
You got to actually talk to the microphone, my dude.
Don't you want some of the room acoustics?
No, I do not.
Oh,
the studio is treated in here where it is, we got one thing of here.
Do you have any wax?
What wax are we talking about?
Wow. Surfboard wax,
Right.
We're here with TeeVee. TeeVee. How many times do people ask you how to spell your name all the time? Every day?
All the time.
It's every time.
Yeah.
Now, we are not to be confused with TeeVee out of Austin, Texas.
How do they spell it?
It's TeeVee, but no period.
Oh, so it's a big difference.
Oh, man, that's a tough card to draw. You could just get a new name.
Well, part of me wants
the
to, but
it's definitive, though.
It is definitive. It's the ending.
Right. Because there's TV.
But then there's TV.
Right.
Thank you.
We're on the same page.
But I have a dream of hosting a TV fest with all the TVs of the world.
Like Bob Barker?
Everybody.
Would you have TV on the radio?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember that band, The Chariot? They did a bunch of TVs, I think, during one of their shows. They just had a whole bunch of static TVs, and that was the thing. So you could have TVs with TVs at TV Fest. Mm-hmm. We could do it. We'll sponsor it. We'll do it. We'll host it. Frederick Fairgrounds. It'll be great.
Well, you got to tell them to get back to me.
Oh yeah, sure.
You have to reach out first.
Yeah, I think it's
multiple times.
Yeah, I think it's at Shield Co Art. I think I have to reach out to him.
Yes. Thank you.
So tell us what is TeeVee, because TeeVee, from what I understand, is not just music. There's also a visual component to it. So tell us a little bit about what is this band? What is this thing? What do you guys like? What do you guys do?
Well, TeeVee kind of just started as my musical output when I first started learning how to play guitar. I always.
Yeah, eat that mic, Dylan. Eat it. Eat it.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, TeeVee started as my musical output when I learned guitar. I grew up playing saxophone, and from there, it was like, okay, well, what's next? So I started teaching myself guitar. I learned the entire Foo Fighters first album, their debut album. I learned the entire album front to back.
Taylor
'Cause-
Hawkins
Wow.
rip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Too soon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
super
It
sad.
is.
It's been sad.
But yeah, that was my kind of pseudonym for a while, and then it kind of just evolved. But my visual aspect is called Alan Brown, which is an ode to Alton Brown, the famed chef, Food Network,
Sure.
Iron Chef.
I
Yes,
love that dude. He has Post-it notes, right?
Yes, love the Post-it notes. I'm glad you get it. I'm glad you get it, Colin. Yeah,
Yeah, Alton.
yeah.
You know
Well,
he's an avid listener. We had him on once.
really?
Yeah,
I'd love to get in touch.
Yeah.
Well, it was tough. I mean, we had to Colin had to do a bunch
Lots of contract disputes.
I'll do it again.
Well, I mean, he just had to sell himself. It was
Yeah.
kind of tough.
I had to
Gotcha.
eat tuna.
Ooh.
Yeah. Who does
Raw,
that?
cooked, steamed.
No.
So steamed
raw.
on burnt toast.
Yeah, with Vegemite.
Which have you had?
No, I'm looking forward to it though.
Are you getting it soon?
No.
TV World Tour, New Zealand, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
then
hell yeah.
I'll do it. Of
That'd
course.
be cool.
Indulge in the culture.
Yeah. So, culture. Are you from Frederick? Did you grow up in Frederick?
I grew up right on the edge of Montgomery County.
Ooh, so you're kind of
in-
rich.
Which way?
Yeah, Boyd's. Boyd's is right next to Barnesville, right next to Poolsville.
Yeah.
There is a stop on the MARC train
Yep.
for Boyd's.
Yes, there is, and I've been there
I didn't
many
even
times.
know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. You go underground to get to it from the street. You got to go underground underneath the track in this abandoned walkway, very scary, and then you come out to where the MARC train is.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
So how'd you get to Frederick?
Work. And I grew up coming here to come hang out.
What do you
know,
do
and
for work?
Production manager at Shilko Art. Hey everybody, Dylan from Shilko here. Yeah.
That's fine. New sponsor of the
thoroughly enjoyed
podcast.
The first one of those that I
Yeah.
saw,
Yeah.
because I had met you first, and then came across the your work Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And hey everybody,
Dylan from
Shilko.
Shilko.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So how did you guys? Are you guys friends forever? How'd you meet?
No, actually, we met earlier this year off of a
Reddit.
Reddit post.
Reddit
Reddit.
post.
Yes.
Everybody I've met
a,
off Reddit, it didn't end well. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You usually end up with a knife against your back.
Or a disease that you have to go to the doctor's for.
Right.
I'll take both of those for 500, Alex.
Yeah, it was a drummer wanted Reddit post on the.
You didn't call me, man.
You have
Yeah.
no idea how many posts I made. Facebook, Reddit, Craigslist. I was looking for drummers for a very long time.
And
Yeah.
little did you know the answer to your problems was sitting in the Could
Yeah.
Be Better studios.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know Dylan, and so when I heard that Spencer answered an ad, I was like, "There's a 50-50 chance you're not going to come back." So
Right.
you should make
I
sure
mean,
you tell somebody
yeah.
where you are.
Who knows, man? I
Mhm.
mean, I was at the point where I wanted to, because I'd played music in the past and then took quite a long break, but really got the itch again. So had lost a good amount of connections with anyone else that I'd wanted to play with. So went to Reddit, saw a post that said drummer wanted, must be loud.
That was it. That was
was-
the
that was
one
the post,
requirement.
yeah.
Yeah.
I said you must play loud.
I love that though. I don't know, how old are you guys? Are you? I don't know. Are you
I'll be 25 on Friday.
Oh,
Bullshit.
You're fucking young as fuck.
It's fun. Yeah.
Seriously?
34.
25?
34?
Yeah.
So
Goodness
you
gracious.
don't remember, but
Wow.
you might remember. I know you don't,
Mm.
but you might remember the days of going to a music shop or a record store where you would pin your contact information on a
certainly
board.
so.
I did that.
You did that? Okay.
I did that. I actually I made this ad with a picture of the Muppets drummer.
Animal.
And,
Yeah.
and the same thing. I said, looking for a drummer must play incredibly loud. And I put it everywhere downtown.
Nobody.
Nobody. And I got a string of drummers. I think 3 drummers, and I auditioned them. And Spencer was the clear choice.
Sure.
You didn't
Nice.
catch me
Thank you.
in the wig on the second time?
I did not.
I kind of wonder if you did the opposite approach of hey, drummers wanted extremely quiet. I wonder if that would have attracted more people. Hey, listen, I can play drums really
Right.
quiet.
That's such a good point. If you would have just put up a poster that said, please play your drums quietly, would you have had more drummers?
Not the ones that I need.
Ah.
Not the ones that I need.
But it's interesting though, because so I've known. I mean, spoiler for people. It's I've known Spencer for a very, 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 very,
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very long time.
Mhm.
Lived in my parents' basement for a bit. We've
Yep.
toured in other bands. We've
Yep.
done all sorts of things. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh,
But
yeah. Love
he's
in
not
this
the
room.
loudest drummer. So when he was
really he plays quiet.
well, I would say he's a quiet drummer, but he's not like like we have
Sure.
played with some loud
Yes,
ass
we
fucking
have.
drummers
Yeah.
where you're like, this is the biggest, most obnoxious kid I've
Yes.
ever heard, and this person. Their personality, if it's like their drumming style, I
Yeah.
don't like them, right? And so,
right.
so we've met those people.
Let's just
Sure.
keep shitting on drummers, okay?
Well, you have a small kick,
I have a
and
small
you're
what?
and you have a great personality. So you're neither of these things. I love you. Now, with that being
was
said,
the nicest thing you've ever said to me
on the podcast, and with that though, it's
Yeah.
like when you're like, oh yeah, it's like must be loud, and you were like, I remember you told me you were a little like, well, not nervous, but just kind of
Well,
like,
sure, yeah. It's like I'm meeting a new person
Mm-hmm.
whose music seems like dope. Have to play loud, which I was like, I'll just get comfortable with that.
Right.
I've broken enough cymbals to be like, I'm gonna keep it just a little quieter than I know that I can hit.
Well, let's get in the weeds with that
Yeah.
though, about playing quieter.
Yeah.
Like, was it conscious or louder? I mean, when you got with him, were you like, I'm gonna lay it in because he said he wanted loud?
So for our first practice, I had taken a break from music for quite a few years. Probably about five years, and then just got the itch to drum again. So I didn't have my kit set up or anything.
So there were just drums there.
Well, yes, there were drums there, but I
The
ended
world's shittiest drum kit. I got it for free from a family friend, and the kick drum sounds like a cardboard box.
yeah. But
That's not separate from a lot of kick drums.
No, I guess not.
So then you had that, and you were like, I'm gonna fucking kill it.
oh
right
yeah.
now.
It's like as soon as I got over the nerves of being in someone's basement that I do not know, music that I have barely attempted to play like on my own. Getting over the nerves of like, okay, then I'll just hit as hard as I can right now.
Cool.
You have to understand, like, my basement is a concrete dungeon,
yes,
right? Right.
So you were concerned like what activities were going to happen when you walked into this basement?
You never
Hey,
know.
now.
Like a
And it's
I'm
a
into
busy
that.
basement. There's lots of
There's a lot of stuff in
yeah,
there.
a lot of my landlord stuff is there.
We're peppering you with questions about
Sure.
playing loud, but with you,
Yeah.
did it feel like he was playing loud enough? Were you
Well-
like, yeah, this is the dude?
Well, you have to understand, like, what he was coming into is I'm playing a 2x12 guitar amp stacked on top of a gigantic bass amp. And I just have them dying, right? In this basement in the middle of Frederick.
yeah.
And I tell Spencer over Reddit, I go, here's some songs to learn. Let's just see what happens, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes in, and I'm just in like, I don't even know what your first thoughts were. Like when I hit that first chord, you're like, wow.
Oh yeah, it was fucking loud down there.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna have to like catch up because like
Right.
you won't be able to hear me.
Hey, it's not as bad as walking into a room in a Good Charlotte cover band and nobody knows the words, but it's turned to 11.
Right.
Not that I've had that happen recently.
No, and it wasn't that loud, you asshole. It was fine. So with that though, you sent us some songs. So tell us the first song we're going to get into. Speaking of
Well,
loud things.
Before we go into that,
Oh, sure,
you have
it's
to
your podcast.
understand that you have to understand that I was thinking of songs to send over, and I didn't even talk to Spencer about it. And I made some compositional long form pieces,
Okay.
kind of like ambient electronic stuff, and I was gonna send those. So I tell this to Spencer like the first time I actually talked to him about it. And I go, yeah, I'm going to send over these long-form songs. What do you think? Spencer's like, you've never listened to the podcast, have you? Oh, excuse me. I go, no.
Thanks.
Yeah, no. The mic was looking at me funny. He goes, oh, no, you haven't listened to the podcast? I go, so, like, what goes on? He goes, oh, well, you listen to the song, you talk about it, you move on. And I go, oh, yeah. Sending those really long songs would have been a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And how long are really long songs?
Well, I mean, these were like 15 minutes long.
Oh yeah, we would have cut that.
No.
Exactly.
No.
No, we did what? We had an 11-song funk jam on a couple episodes ago. It was
Oh,
great.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean,
That was
you
very
could have
good.
done one,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
not three.
In parts.
Yeah.
You could have done one 15 song,
Right.
a 15-minute song, one 30-second
Right.
intro.
Now I do
Just
believe
even it
one
out.
of these is a bit long. It's kind of like an appetizer for the others.
Like mozzarella sticks or poutine.
No, it's definitely poutine. It's
Oh.
I would classify it as digital poutine.
Wow.
Jesus
And so
Christ, wow.
so
I'm full already.
so you've sent us 3. Which one do you want to play first?
The first one should be living inside the digital plane.
Why?
it's just an appetizer. It's something to kind of get us prepared for the rest of the show.
This is how I get bed bugs. We're recording now, Chris. I mean, this is the Could Be Better Studios. I love that song. That was a great song.
I like planes.
I appreciate it.
How when you guys get together now, can you compare the difference between when you first got to write together and you answered that Reddit ad or post, whatever you want to call it? How does it feel now compared to it was then?
Should I tell them about the sunglasses?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a good one.
So not only was Spencer meeting me, from Reddit,
In your dungeon.
in the dungeon.
Yes.
You also have to understand that, like the week or two before, I actually lost my prescription glasses,
Oh no.
and all I had left were prescription sunglasses. So for about
You fucking weirdo.
2 to 3 months,
You're like Roy Orbison, like all the
that-
time.
yeah, Spencer never saw my eyes.
Yes.
Did you walk into practice like, dude, it's not sunny. We're in a basement.
I mean, I figured it might have been a vibe, and I wasn't going to question it. It's like, okay,
You really didn't say anything. That's amazing.
I truly did not say
Spencer
anything.
is the
for you.
sweetest
That's
person.
so
He
cool.
would never have said anything.
And then,
That's cool.
and then there was the explanation, and then it was like 2 or 3 months of practicing together.
Not seeing my
Wait, time out.
This
Hey,
person's eyes.
you let him go that whole time and didn't say anything?
I did say something.
Yeah,
like,
early
right off
on,
the bat.
yeah.
I was like, "Hey, I know you're probably thinking like, why are you wearing sunglasses?" Let me
Good for
explain.
you to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what'd you say? You said I just don't have other
I
glasses.
lost them. I said, "Look, I lost my glasses, and I'm gonna have sunglasses for the next little bit."
So Spencer, did you have any idea that like he was actually a vampire and you only play shows at night and that's totally normal? Have you seen him in the daytime?
That's funny. It was very stark coming to practice and actually seeing his eyes for the first time. Like, I come down into the basement, and then like his stuff is already set up. He's looking the other way, turns around. It's like, oh, those are your eyes. It's like the
Yeah.
first time. It was, yeah.
And you'd have beautiful deep brown eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So,
I also have to say.
Sorry, we had a moment.
No.
It's okay, it's okay.
We brand ourselves as the most handsome gays band this side of the Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I guess you took our band.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine.
But I want to know, like, do you, with a two-piece band type thing, with that type of project, and Chris says this almost condescendingly, I know what this shit's like.
yeah, I know what he's doing.
Fuck you.
Love you.
I love you too. So when you get to a certain point in a two-piece band, it's almost like you're in a relationship. You're in, and people wouldn't say a romantic relationship. I would contend it is a romantic relationship because you have to have some type of connection there.
Sure.
Where you understand each other on a certain level that nobody else really understands you on. Do you guys feel like you are at that place? If you are, when was that aha moment? If you aren't, then let's hear you fight.
Is this gonna become Maury?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome.
That's right. I mean, I'm sure you guys trust each other in that way,
sure.
though, like the musical instincts.
Yeah. I mean, I can speak on that a little. I mean, I think it's still like early on. But I think it was fairly immediate that the way that music was like discussed between, running through something. Because with Dylan being a visual artist as well, I think there's a way of talking about music that is really easy to connect with. If you can bring in a visual element or like a visual metaphor of like what you're looking for this music to sound like, which I gravitated towards fairly early.
Are you comfortable being critical of one another?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's
Because
and then there's
no.
yeah. So
I got that too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
My little
You have to understand that if you're being critical, it's different because you're being critical of like somebody you don't know. You're being
Right.
critical.
Mhm.
Right.
If you're being critical of a friend,
Yeah.
or brother,
Yeah.
a family member,
Mhm.
Sure.
it's with love.
Sure. So would you say that he's a brother at this point?
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Oh yeah.
That's
Musical
beautiful.
brethren.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and,
buddy.
and it's kind of cool because like the thing I keep kind of thinking is like as I was driving here today, I was like, oh, I have some questions I want to ask Spencer,
Yeah.
but also just like
Mhm.
there's a beautiful thing to be said of the space that you all are filling because you're putting yourself out there because you're a little older than I am, so it's like
Right.
and so it's like you being north of 30 just a little
Yeah.
bit and putting yourself out there, which I didn't know how old you were. I mean, you don't look like you're 25 at all,
only
but
as
dude,
old as you act, my
dude,
friend.
listen, that's right. And I act like I'm 18.
94.
Yes, you are. Oh my God! If you don't have a blanket on your legs
Exactly.
right now, it'd be
At
crazy.
that point, I'm in my
limp.
50s.
You limp. You don't like talking to people. You like to
I
ride
only
the
drink
train
wine.
only by the bottle. It's crazy. But with that being said, though, it was like
Tyler. little man.
you like put yourself out there, and it's interesting where it's like it's Reddit, right? Because it's like for me it would have been like Craigslist, of the musician groups and
That's
stuff like
even
that.
weirder.
I know, well, because again, you catch something you gotta go to the doctor for, but it's just this cool, almost like. For people that are listening that are in our demographic, which because of Apple, iTunes, Spotify, all the things, it's like we know like the people that are listening to our podcast are generally like 20s to 30s people, and so with that, it's like there might be people listening that like, oh, I'm too old, or I've been out of the game for so long, and then it's like I see you jumping back in with someone that like loves what they're doing,
right,
and is creating something cool, and it's like, and you guys are making something special, and and for me that's just such an encouragement that something like that can exist, but then also that like I know somebody that's done that, because I feel like that's so often the scenario. But like, did you have any sort of like, and Spencer directly, it's like, did you have any like, hey, like if this goes bad I'm just not gonna come back?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I hope the answer is yes.
I don't want to disappoint, but I don't think so. Yeah, music has been a lot of different things for me. And it's interesting to talk about music as someone who's in their mid 30s now, it's just transformed over time. Where for the past few years, music has been more of a therapy than anything, even without playing music.
It's funny because that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
Rehearsals, shows,
yeah.
everything, even listening, like that is what keeps me sane.
And you did shows without a drummer before all this too, right?
Long ass time.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure that felt lonely.
Well, yeah, and like there were times where I was like, no, I'll go for a drummer. I would hire a drummer for one gig, right? Just one gig, right? And then it would be done. And
does that feel cheap?
No, I mean it's just like, look, I got this gig, I need a drummer, but it's like I was so controlling. It was like, I know what I want.
Right.
Like you have to understand, like what I was looking for, right, was basically another version of me behind the kit.
Yeah.
And it took me to realize that was never going to happen.
Well, can you speak to the difference then between just hiring somebody for one night and having somebody who was in the band with you, who's playing with you? Like how does that become different?
Well, I mean, it has to be the person. It has to be the one. And like it was very apparent that Spencer, that you had the same kind of thinking.
Right.
Oh shit,
the
they're
same
falling in
wire.
love.
I know, this is so romantic. He's like the one. I was like, oh, it's awful.
Great.
right
This
now.
is so great.
Yeah.
I don't you knew it right away, right? It clicked, and that was
because
it.
like I didn't even have to say anything. I would say, a couple of words, be like, it should be something like this, some visual metaphor of some sort, as I do. And immediately, like that was it. Spencer knew what to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it is cool when you kind of find those, and it's like, we know those friendships, and we have those things where it's just like everything just kind of clicks and you're like, oh yeah, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And it is certainly vulnerable just being the two of us. Like there is a,
You don't say.
there is certainly a connection to be made that is more between just, two people than if you're joining a band of 3 or 4.
Sure.
Where there's other dynamics at play. There's no other dynamics at play. It's just the two of us.
But like that's also what's special though, because like for people that haven't seen you play live, it's like you face each other.
Yes.
Like
it has to be.
You don't give a shit about anybody that's either paid or is attending. You're just like, no, I'm playing for my dude.
What do I tell you before the shows?
I'm gonna.
That's okay. I'll say it.
yeah.
I always go, I don't give a fuck. I'm playing for you.
That's like, I mean, does that make your heart warm a little bit? Like, does that make you like feel like you because so Colin is a legendary drummer,
I'm dead now,
of a band that was also a 2-piece. And at their best a 2-piece. So like, what does your heart say right now? Like are you?
It's beautiful. I completely connect with all of that. That we didn't play toward each other. We kind of angled, I think, but
we've been forced to do that.
Yeah,
yes,
but we didn't like play directly to each other. When you get that, and when you're talking about writing or rehearsing, and you have a situation where it's like, maybe you say to him, nobody can watch us except for the live stream.
The live stream, obviously. YouTube.com.
But when you say to him, he's looking around like, where are the cameras? but you just, like you say, well, this is what I think it should be. And maybe you only like mouth 4 measures or something. And then he just does exactly what you think it should be. And it's like, whoa, what the fuck was that? And it just happens like that. It's really one of the most intimate things. I gave up, talking like you,
Mhm.
listening to you is like hearing myself 10 years ago
Yeah.
saying, I'm done with music. I'm never going to play
Yeah.
again. I'm never going to do anything
Yeah.
again. And then you kind of got a little bit of an itch, but I didn't even have an itch
Yeah.
really when I got back into it.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden this thing happened. This thing happened, and it was one of those things where I said, well, okay, well, I'll do this, I guess.
Yeah.
And I did it. But it was natural, and there wasn't anything forced, and it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
And I guess that might be the question or the thing to come back to you guys with. Like, how hard does it actually get? Because if Chris is going to put me on the spot like that, it never got hard writing. You know, it got hard maybe dealing with. I used to have this excuse like, well, I don't want to be in a 6-piece band because there's too many personalities.
Sure.
Which is the truth. I don't want to be in a 6-piece band because of
Me
that.
neither.
But there's also on the other end of it too. When you do it a 2-piece or even a 3-piece, you can fall in love with each other and fall in love with the songs and do it where it's okay. Is that where you guys got or are?
Or are getting to?
Yeah.
Every day.
All right,
step
that's it.
closer
That's
to
the-
the sun.
I mean, I think so. Yeah, it's been fun to get there to where
It took a while.
You trust each other.
yes. Yeah.
Getting that practice space was seriously
Yeah.
such a huge step.
And from a practice space in Frederick, that's kind of like a diamond in the rough. Right?
You have no
Certainly
fucking
so,
clue.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have no clue, dude.
How did you get it? Okay, all right. We're gonna talk about practice spaces. We're gonna talk about music. Finish your thought, Spencer.
I mean, I think I lost it for the moment, but I do want to I think that Colin had a great question there. I want to circle back to it. We can circle back to it.
Look at
after
that,
the-
professional. So
after
we're gonna
the
play
next-
another song and get to music break because that's what people listen. Not
What's the song?
Jeez, I don't even remember what I
so
said.
we play. You guys sent me.
Let it be.
Yeah, pulling teeth and then you've become are the two that I got left.
I guess let's do. You want to say pulling teeth for last?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, do become an odor second.
There we go.
Man, beautiful song, Dylan.
I appreciate it.
Did you play on any songs?
I did not. No, these were recorded before I came
Yeah.
aboard.
I played on all of them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Great job.
So Spencer, we were talking as we were listening to that amazing song that you wanted to kind of touch back on a little bit about that level of vulnerability, a little bit about trusting somebody new and kind of like going through that process.
Yeah, certainly. And Colin, speaking on like taking a break from music for a while. I think for me that break came out of a deep sadness. And I think music was certainly there along the way as like that therapeutic element of getting you to the next day, but not feeling like you have the creative output yet.
And you weren't, I mean, just judging, not to interrupt you, but before that, it was you were not connecting with music in that way. And then all of a sudden, when you started to reconnect with music in that way, it became that important. Is that accurate?
I think that's fairly accurate.
And you were jumping genres.
Yes, the last outfit I was with was more of a hardcore thing, and that was super fun.
We do
but
hardcore
that was,
like what, quarter speed?
right, quarter speed hardcore. That certainly had a different vibe for me. Like it was at a different phase of life. So like the the reason behind playing music was different than it is now. I think I turned a corner with an influx of happiness where I'm at in life now. And creativity comes after that for me, I think.
Is it easier or harder to play happy?
I think it's so much easier for me. I think it's so much easier for me. And especially if you have the right person, which truly finding somebody on Reddit.
I know, right? Like
in like the middle of January.
Being able to tell
when
tale.
I felt like, I think I could play music again. Let me just hop on, I don't think I was even looking on Reddit for that at the moment. But then, something pops up.
Yeah.
Drummer.
That's crazy. And it's also just like for, it's like, I know the story, right? But it's like, it's you were playing guitar for a really long time in between that. And it's like, you didn't play drums for a long time.
Correct.
And so
I remember you saying that. You were like, I'm going to be pretty rusty, so you're going to have to bear with me.
Yeah. And so it's like, between like being a little rusty and then having to play loud, I was like, damn, dude, like you're really just like taking a big bite out of it.
Yes, which that I think, at least for me, like that comes out of, a deeper happiness in life that can beget an extremely vulnerable form of creativity.
Yeah.
And it is certainly vulnerable when it is one other person. I feel very lucky to be playing with Dylan.
Yeah.
Right back.
Oh, guys, I feel the moment here. It's so special,
I'm excited to like speak on the music a bit, or like how it progresses and how it evolves. Because these songs were recorded before I came aboard. And then moving forward, the songs are evolving a little bit since it is the two of us.
Yeah.
Every practice, every rehearsal, every show.
But is that hard for you to let go? Because
Never.
That's amazing.
Never.
Because you were saying when like you were hiring a drummer, it was like, hey, I want me behind the kit. I want this thing. And now it kind of says like, hey, if it's changing in every practice, that's a lot of control you're letting go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spencer just brings a whole other kind of set of rules and a whole other deck to the equation that I would have never been able to.
That's cool. That's beautiful. So I got two things. One,
Sure.
I hate to label you as a poster boy on like, hey, somebody in their 30s trying to join a band again, but I think that's super important. Like, it's never too late to try. You got to find the right fit.
Certainly.
And comb Reddit. What was the Reddit thread you were on?
I think it was the Frederick.
Yeah, it was Frederick. Yeah,
Reddit.
Frederick
Yeah.
Indeed,
Hell yeah.
Reddit,
That's right.
I'm on there, sexy tits 46.
Stop. It's 420 and you're being an asshole. The second thing is let's go back to the practice space. So tell me.
Oh, yeah.
So you practice in your basement, like
No.
so you no.
At first, yeah.
So, well, you were in the
Yeah.
dungeon. How did like Frederick City isn't kind to loud noises?
No, they are not. My adjacent neighbors, one of them plays violin in an orchestra in the city or around here, so she kind of understood.
Sure.
My other neighbor I do not talk to, so it's kind of like, well,
Because they're really kind and you don't want to like have to.
That neighbor's pissed right now. That neighbor's listening like, who the fuck is that?
yeah, it was kind of like that, but
Sure.
I didn't have that opportunity, so it was just like, oh well, roll the dice, see what happens.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that. Yeah, but this lovely man over here found that diamond in the rough.
That's awesome.
A rehearsal space with electricity.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Seriously.
I mean,
In downtown.
Yes.
In downtown
Yeah.
Frederick.
And
With
they're-
electricity, I
and-
may say again.
Now, do they know that you're practicing there as a band?
yes,
And
which
they're okay-
was yes. I mean, because I'm
You're a straight shooter,
I'm a straight shooter. I'm a softie. I don't like to bend the rules.
which
and
I
so,
love
like,
about you.
Up front, I
Yeah.
message somebody. I'm like, I see this garage is for rent. We play loud music. Is that okay? And I got a couple of no's. And
Sure.
then one guy was like, yeah, sure. I don't see a problem with that. So yeah, diamond in the rough. Rough. I mean, it's rough shape from the outside, but it's a great little space.
It was
Sure.
rough at first.
yeah.
Sure. But I mean, okay.
To be able to and honestly, like a dream of mine is to be able to either walk or ride a bicycle to your band practice.
Oh.
Like
Which you have done
which is
both.
delightful.
Yeah,
It's so delightful.
And so for people that are listening, it's actually kind of funny because this episode comes out just a couple days before we do the emo night at Old Mother on
yeah.
July 30th, and so there's been a influx of posts of bands that are like, "Hey, is there any practice spaces in Frederick?" If you don't mind me asking, and just to kind of give again, if we're kind of talking about shooting your shot,
Yeah.
putting yourself out there, being in a band again, like what does the practice space cost a month? Is it a week? Is it like what does that kind of look like?
It's monthly. It's about $150.
And that's reasonable.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like we're all adults and have jobs, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like it's tough when you're 18 and working at Subway. It's like
Right.
that's hard.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of it's like, hey, if you're in your 30s, it's like you should be able to swing $150 unit. Either don't
Yeah,
buy your cigarettes
exactly.
that week, or like
we
maybe don't.
outfitted it. You have no idea. We outfitted it.
Do you have pictures somewhere on the internet?
Not
I
on
don't
the
think so.
internet. I have a video somewhere on my
Look at
archive.
that.
Yeah, our
on your
first
floppy
so
disk.
it is just it's a garage downtown.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like the tin roof, tin walls.
Now,
Um,
calling it a garage is
It's
a bit
generous.
generous.
Look at
It is.
that.
It is a tin shack.
It's a shack. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like shacks.
But Spencer, the contracting genius he is, we soundproofed it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
To a pretty good degree. Our first practice there, no soundproofing on the walls really, and within about a minute of playing our first song,
Noise
I got
complaint.
a call, and then we worked on it pretty hard to get it dampened quite a bit, and then since then neighbors have come by, knocked on the door, and you're thinking like, what's this gonna be? And somebody pops their head in, it's like, sounds great, guys.
Oh man, no way.
Yeah. Unreal, like yeah.
That's awesome. It's cool that you get the kind like so. I mean, you've dealt with the struggles of having to record, like practice in a space that like people hate you, right? And now you're in the space where it's the other way around, where it's like, hey, you get these compliments. You're like, like that must feel kind of nice. Like that, and I think that's kind of where I'm going to kind of go, and then we'll kind of get into our specialty segment because Colin dominates this a whole bunch, which is annoying. But like
Nice.
He says
But-
that because he fucked up once.
once, and he won't let me down, so I have to make sure I get
No,
in
I
there
think
first.
that's fair.
But yes,
Yeah, it is fair. Thank you. Thank you.
So with
Fine,
that
you
though,
want to come on next week?
there's a beauty in like your community kind of supporting you, and just in a way that's like it's nothing more than just like a knock. Hey, like that sounds great, but like when you get shit on or when it's really tough, like that does not feel good at all.
No.
Yeah.
No, I remember that first rehearsal where we were
Yeah.
told like you were too loud and you put the mutes on your drum.
Yes. Oh my God.
And like my amps were at like 1.
So
What do you mean
deflated.
the mutes like
So
the
deflated.
pads on your drums?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
a very sad.
It was.
It was the tail between the legs.
And that was at the first practice,
Yeah.
and you still showed up afterwards.
Yeah.
Look at you.
It's first practice in our little garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can work from that. My
Yeah.
tail's been between my legs
Yeah.
more than I ever want to say.
Sure. That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's also cool because for me, I know a lot of the bands that are from here, and it's like when Spencer's like, "Oh, it's some TeeVee," and I'm like, "I don't know what TeeVee is." It's like, and it's just super cool. It's like you guys are playing 10th Ward coming up here
Yeah.
soon, right? What's that? What's that date again?
The 10th ward is what, 8?
It's early August. I'm not sure.
I think it's
what
like
date.
the first Friday of August.
Okay.
Maybe 8/5.
Okay. And what's I think kind of crazy is like we just had this episode comes out. I guess it's right before emo night. So you guys just played the Tuesday night show at Old Mother with Bill Jack
yeah.
and Shiloh. How was
Oh,
it?
man. Phenomenal.
I know it was
I
great.
gotta say,
Yeah.
you get on the train, and sorry, you cannot get off. We are not letting you get off.
Best fucking answers we could have ever hoped for.
That's great.
So glad.
God, I love
I'm
that
so glad
place.
all of you 4,000 people came. Now we got the 5
Yeah.
quick questions to end the show.
Bring 'em.
It's
Fun.
sponsored by Specialties Budweiser.
Special-tees.com. It is your one-stop shop for all merchandise printing, unless Dylan prints it, and then we will not be a competitor. But
And here comes our first question. The first goes to you. Who is your biggest influence as a drummer?
Oh man, biggest influence as a drummer.
You got to answer within 5 words.
Man,
It's
I
not
don't know if I can
5
do
words,
that.
but it has to be quick.
Whoever the drummer was for City's Burn, I don't know his name,
Oh shit.
but that band
That's so
changed my
many
life.
words.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
That's
know.
great. Don't
I
hate
know.
him. Dylan, soft potato tacos or a chalupa?
No, not a chalupa taco. Absolutely not. Don't ruin the taco.
So what is your go-to?
There are no follow-ups.
No, there's a follow-up. What's your go-to item at Taco Bell?
Oh, I get
Not quick enough. Not quick
I
enough.
Fuck
know.
you. We're done. That's it.
Oh my god.
That's it.
He's gonna say
Best favorite book.
Best favorite book.
has to be a best/favorite, I guess, is what he means.
I'm not a heavy
Crystal-
reader, man.
So many words. Next.
Sorry.
Wow, the guys, this is awful. Dylan,
Go on.
socks or sandals?
Why not both?
Hell yeah. Look at that.
This doesn't get
Ask
any
me a
better.
hard question.
Favorite
next time,
professional wrestler.
Oh man. Hulk Hogan.
So confident like you were gonna mess up his name. That's amazing. I was hoping for Stone Cold Stephen Austin.
Yeah.
Steven.
Steven
You just call him
Austin.
Steven Austin?
Well, this
Whoa,
podcast has been
whoa, this
canceled.
Time out, guys.
No,
Wait.
no,
It's his full name.
no,
Nobody
it's
ever
not.
calls
It's
him
not?
Stephen
It's
Austin.
not. He was born Steve.
I don't think so. No one's ever born just
Steven
Steve.
Austin. Well, I hope Brett's here. I hope Brett's here.
Nah, Brett can go home.
Wow, we didn't get answers to our questions.
That's 4.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
So here's
Oh,
a joint
no.
here's a joint question for both of you.
Yeah.
Crunchwrap, by the way.
Just
But
throw
no
it in.
meat. I do beans.
Good for you. Are you
fuck beans,
vegetarian?
No. I just think the meat at Taco Bell is too salty.
Is it questionable meat?
It's not me,
It's
dude.
not that it's questionable. It's just too salty.
Okay.
The beans have a better consistency.
We've asked
I
this
like
question.
that the answer is it's not meat, dude. That's very funny.
And the recycled question, but bucket list place to play in Frederick. For Dylan, you go first.
Bucket list.
All right, Spencer, go.
Place to play in Frederick.
Place you haven't played that's
There
on your
aren't
bucket
that
list.
lot. There
Isn't
aren't a
that
lot.
too
There's 2
I mean,
places.
I certainly like the second floor of FAC. I would like to play
Oh.
Frederick
there.
Arts Council.
Yeah,
Look at
I'm
that.
total.
Okay.
So
We have a
that
meeting
place-
tomorrow, don't
Yeah,
we?
we do.
yeah,
Super
that
important.
place is like
Somebody's gotta
is
let me
heaven
know
on
that.
earth for bands.
Please
the
remind
acoustics
me.
sound great.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you both can answer the same thing.
My second place, we just passed it on the way here. That FOE building. Yeah.
So I used to be a trustee there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they used to have a really cool upstairs, and now they've moved. And maybe we can do something.
There's
maybe-
just something about the
We might be
that,
able to do something in that
face of
building.
the building that is so attractive.
Have you been inside?
Never.
Okay, it is
that'll
exactly what you think it will be.
Oh,
And you've been inside,
Oh,
right?
yes, certainly so, yeah.
We went up to the top before,
Yeah.
and it's a cool room.
Mhm.
I mean, we've done some really. There's a sick. You know exactly where I'm going, and I'm an asshole. There was a sick Dover motorcycle show that they didn't even show up to play, and
Nice.
and it was a
Zero motorcycle.
yeah, it was 0, and it was packed, and Dover motorcycle didn't show up, but you showed up for 5 minutes.
I did.
And it was beautiful because you came in, you're like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And I'm like, "It's going."
Fuck all of you. Fuck all of this podcast.
And it was a great time. But yeah, that was a special building, and
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, could be better started in that building. So we have a lot to be grateful for there, right, Colin?
so
Show
much.
your respects.
So much to be
We do.
grateful for.
It started there. It's a beautiful
No, it
thing.
did. We ran shows, and I was reminded about a month ago or 2 months ago by the time this comes out. I was when our first show
Yeah.
on the bottom floor.
Yeah, it was in June.
Yeah, that was. I think the Fun Boys played.
Fun Boys played. Word for Hands played. It was supposed to be
Yeah.
outdoors. We moved it indoors. It was the
It was
first
very
show.
good.
Yeah.
It was a very good place for shows. Thank you guys.
No,
Well,
we
certainly
so
appreciate
much.
you having us.
Yeah.
I hope that you have felt as much
Hmm.
in love as Chris and I feel on a daily basis.
Aw.
Towards each other, right?
That's what I meant.
Sorry, I just was confusing.
But
That's so
in the
nice.
meantime and in between time,
Mhm.
thank you so much for coming by. I know it's late.
It is super late. Couple things before we go.
Oh shit! I was trying.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
fuck
Yeah,
off.
he's
Sorry,
Wrapping up-
where
wrapping up the thing.
where can people find you?
ExperienceTV.bandcamp.com, Spotify, you know the drill.
All the stuff, okay?
TeeVee.
Period.
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 Separate. Definitely a different band.
Mhm.
You got to make sure you got that period because it's definitive.
definitive.
Second thing, when is your 10th Ford show again?
8-5, I believe.
8/5 August.
8-5 Monica.
8/5 and
10th Ward Cocktail. What up?
yeah. Are you guys playing it in the window? Or are you playing
Well,
in the
you have
back?
to understand. So normally we play piss loud.
Right.
And this show we're doing the complete opposite.
Yes.
We're playing every song as slow and as soft and as jazzy as possible.
Ooh.
Yes.
So you're
Be very
probably
fun.
Boner
Oh
Central
my
then,
God,
aren't you?
yeah.
Good for you.
So excited.
That's
Yo,
awesome.
you want to start a band? You and me, two drummers?
Just
Two drummers.
We'll call it two drummers, not two cellos.
Boo.
I'm a little
TV, thank you
interested.
so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
We're going to do some stuff. And so here's this last song. Dylan, can you tell us what this is?
Pulling Teeth. This is quite possibly one of my favorite songs to play. Also kind of like the first like great song that I wrote.
Okay. And it's
Yeah.
about your worst experience at the dentist?
No, it's just about time. It's about time.
There we go. I had a great time. Thank you guys for coming on the
Thank
podcast.
you.
Here is Pulling Teeth.
Could Be Better podcast is produced live from the Could Be Better studios that are definitely not a bedroom in Frederick, Maryland.
Check out our website, www.couldbebettermeh.com, for links to our social media, as well as a calendar of events and our contact information for those interested in guesting or supporting the Could Be Better movement.
Sure, whatever the hell that is. If you'd like what you hear, though, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, or however you're listening to this right now. And don't hesitate to leave us a 5-star review because, believe it or not, it actually really helps.
Tune in every Thursday for a new episode where we...
Okay, that's enough. We've been talking for way too long.
Okay. I'm Chris Perry.
And I'm Colin McGuire, and we are out of time. So for now, remember, as always, everybody, this could be better.
Are you wanting to get away? Okay. It's not a commercial for that company, but maybe it's time to get away from your landlord or out of your mom's basement and get into a home of your own. It's time to visit homeloanswithalex.com. Whether you're looking to buy your first home, refinance your current pad, or just have questions about, can I afford this insanely over or underpriced dream palace, Alex Nunemaker from Fitzgerald Financial Group is your one-stop shop for practically all things home finance. Alex has been a mortgage lender since 2008 and is an expert in his craft of finding the right mortgage for you. Alex will help you figure out what you can afford and guide you in the right direction for what's best for you and your goals. Sure, you could rock it or answer some flyer you got in the mail, but why would you when homeloanswithalex.com is just one click away? Visit homeloanswithalex.com and tell him Could Be Better sent you. Homeloanswithalex.com, your one-stop shop for pretty much everything home finance. Seriously. Alex Nunemaker at Fitzgerald Financial Group is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 319721.